All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This week we're taking a look back here at week 10, just kind of checking out and seeing how the week went, how we kind of changed things up a little bit, and kind of looking forward of what this week's training is going to mean for next week's training. So I guess we'll start off with the week that was. We'll just kind of run through the workouts of the week. We had two major workouts in the long run. And then other than that, just a lot of volume. That was one of the key big things about this week of training was volume. This week, I'll kind of get ahead of myself here a little bit. The goal of this week was about 65 miles. But the way the week kind of went and kind of, what my estimated mileage was going to be each day was fluctuating up and down just a little bit. By the end of the week, I was actually looking at after the long run. I was like, okay, like on the plan, I had like an easy 6 miles listed, and I was like, wait, if I do 7, I'm gonna hit 70 this week. And for me, like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at a lot of like the really best marathoners out there, they're doing like 120 mile weeks. I'm not a huge mileage person, and for me to hit 70 miles again, I haven't hit 70 miles since college. And so seeing that number and being like 70 miles, man, I felt really good this week, and I hit that volume. So that right there, huge levels of confidence going forward in my training. So let's take a quick minute, and we'll kind of work through the different workouts, how they went, and kind of how I'm feeling at this point. Because, like I said, haven't hit 70 in a while. So 70 took a little bit on a toll on my body here. But let's start off. Monday, started off, did a progression run. This is kind of where the volume kind of crept up a little bit more than I was originally planning. I was looking to do about 8.5 or so. Ended up took a turn. I was like, if I go down to this one road and then shoot over, that should be about 8.5 turned into 10. So that right there is where my volume started. But the pressure run felt great. Coming off of that rest week, legs were feeling good. Starting the run, I was a little bit, whatever. But once I kind of got into the run, ran the first half or so with my wife, and then kind of veered off from her a little bit, but it kind of just kept going little bit by little bit. Got down to about 5:45 pace, so legs were definitely feeling good for that day. Tuesday comes around, aerobic run, cool, nothing major there. Wednesday was like kind of the big workout of the week, and it felt good. I did 2x4K or about 2x2.5 mile reps at tempo effort. And this was another one of those workouts where I was like, okay, like let's see what happens. Kind of gotten into a rhythm and just found that rhythm and just started clicking off the miles and felt smooth. Got done with the workout, looked at my heart rate. I'm like, okay, like, for that effort and hitting that heart rate, and then just how smooth it felt, feeling really, really good. I think I was hitting right around that 540, 545 pace. So I've hit that workout at those paces before, but the part that gives me the most confidence is how easy it felt. And I think that's a big thing that people don't always think about. They are always focused on, I hit this time. But sometimes it's not always about the time. It's how your body's reacting to that workout and how it's feeling through that. I've had plenty of friends that are very high quality runners, and they say that they'll run a workout at the beginning of the season. It's the same workout they hit at the end of the season. The difference is at the beginning of the season, they are wrecked. They feel like their body is just done at the beginning of the season, and by the end of the season, they do that workout, and they're like, okay, like I ran a second or two faster, but it just felt so much smoother. Their body was just ready to roll at that point, and that's what this workout felt for me. So I know we're still a few weeks out from the marathon, so I'm hoping that I can kind of keep this rhythm going and keeping all this stuff going forward. But yeah, no, it felt really really good. Um, let's see here, Thursday, Friday, just a couple more aerobic days. Really kind of hitting around that 10-ish mile for a lot of my aerobic runs this week, just to kind of hit that higher volume that I'm trying to hit. Um, I will say I was very close to doing a couple of doubles, but just the way that my schedule kind of worked out, it didn't quite fit in real well to do those doubles. So everything this week was all singles, which is another thing that I'm like, okay, cool. Like things are going great. Um, Saturday long run. This week we're back on the roads. My wife and I had tried something a little bit different this time. Typically, I've been wearing a hydration vest, and when I go to do that stuff at marathon effort, like I've been doing on the roads, I just feel a little bit clunky, a little bit heavy, just because I've got an extra, I've got an extra liter of water, plus the pack, plus a couple other little minor odds and ends, and so I've got, an extra 3-4, close to 5 pounds worth of weight to carry through this stuff. So hitting some of the paces, some of the efforts, heart rate, like all that stuff, it's just a little bit off, and it's hard for me to really gauge where some of that stuff is at. So this week what we did is we took just a single handheld, really kind of a small, I think I had like 8 or 10 ounces. She had, 10 or 12 ounce bottle, but we took just that. That was it. And then a gel in my pocket. Did half of it, did one loop, stopped for a real quick second. It wasn't a super long stop. It was pretty much stop, refill the water bottle, grab another gel, down a gel, and then head back out. And I gotta say, I'm really happy we did that. It felt really good. It was nice to be a little bit more in the moment of, this is how I'm going to feel in the race. I'm not going to have the pack. I'm not going to have, all this other stuff. It's just like, okay, I'm going to go out and run. And, the biggest things for me are going to be the gels. I know that they'll probably have some on course. Still, I asked them the other day what they're going to have on course, and they're like, oh, we don't know yet. I'm like, how do you not know yet? It's coming up pretty quick. But I'll carry probably 2 gels with me. Hopefully I can get maybe 2, possibly 3 on course, along with a lot of the water and hydration on course. But yeah, the real big part of this run, well, 2 parts. First one was figuring out nutrition, and I think we're kind of dialing it in a little bit. I'm realizing that I need probably more nutrition and more carbohydrate on the run than I was originally thinking I did. Because I'm at the point now where this run I took 1 gel every 35 to 40 minutes. So that's pretty often compared to what I was doing. I was going like once every 50 minutes to an hour. So upping that a little bit, I think really, really helped my body just kind of get through that long run, especially doing a couple of reps of 3K at marathon effort. And man, like I said, it was a huge difference going forward. And that kind of brings up the idea that everybody's a little bit different the way that they utilize fuel. I think with my background and my physiology, I am a more carbohydrate burning machine. I think I tend to use carbohydrate a little bit more than some people. My wife, she appears to, like, as we're kind of going through this stuff, she seems to be a very big fat burner. She can just kind of work off of her storage, her fuel, much longer and much better than what I can. She can do a little bit more of the fattier stuff, whereas I seem to be needing more carbohydrate quicker. Part of that too is my gut seems to handle it better. There are some people that can't handle that quantity of carbohydrate while they're running. Apparently I can. And I can't utilize the fat as quick as I might need to. It seems that at this marathon effort, I'm burning through my carbohydrate stores a little bit quicker than maybe she does. So that's part of what this run was kind of figuring out that segment of training. So we're still going to play around with a few things. We still got a few weeks left to fine tune, but I think we're getting pretty close there. And then Sunday was just an easy run, and like I said, we hit 70 miles this week. Legs felt fine. I never really got to the point where my legs felt sore. The biggest thing for me was just tiredness, and being hungry all the time. Like, to give you an idea of how much food I've been trying to consume, for dinner the night before the long run, I had a whole pizza to myself, like a whole 12-inch pizza, pretty much to myself. I think my wife stole one slice, but anyways, like that's I'm going through food a lot. And again, I think I've mentioned this before. I think that was one of the issues I've been having previously is I'm just kind of tired and whatnot. And I really think it's because I'm not consuming enough food. And I think this last week I really focused on it and I really kind of started hammering in on it. And I think it's helping. I think it is really beneficial, especially when I'm hitting volume this high. So that's the week. I think overall it went really well. So what specifically went well? Volume was up, felt really good there. Everything felt good. I never really had a bad day. Every day was not a great day, right? There's some of those aerobic runs and I'm just like, all right, we got to get it in because we got to get it in. But once I was out the door and got a couple miles in, my legs started feeling a little bit better and I kind of got going and I felt fine. But I never really had a bad day this week. Come the end of the week, I was definitely tired. And I think that's going to reflect a lot about next week. And we're going to see how I recover the first couple of days of next week and see how